eventually we'll move to probably a different state. I don't really want to stay in Florida. The only thing that like he kind of thinks about with Florida is the fact that his mom's here, but her and his brother make it a bitch to plan things, and we're both kind of tired of it. So we're just like, who fucking cares? We only see them for like major holidays at this point, and even that sometimes is a fucking struggle. And it's not because of us. We compromise all the fucking time. So because they make it so fucking complicated, we're just like, if we move, it is what it is. And I don't want to stay in Florida just because I don't really like the water in Florida. I especially don't fucking like the water in the apartment we moved into. The fucking water here sucks. You're speaking to my soul right now. Why does your family make shit complicated to fucking plan? Oh my god. And they know I'm the planner. I'll be like, it's like, oh, we want to do this thing. Can Vanessa plan it? It's like, yeah, I can fucking plan it. Can I get some fucking info though? Or can you try to like work with me in terms of the plan? Because that's the thing. I'll be the planner, but then you all want to shit on the fucking plan. No one else fucking stepped up to make the plan. So why the fuck am I getting shit on? So. The only reason I hate the fucking water, going back to the water thing, I hate the fucking water here. There's something wrong with the water here. I think my mother makes everything so complicated. Well, this is my fiance's family. I don't talk to my family. I don't talk to either of my parents. I don't talk to one of my brothers. I only talk to one brother. That's it. I don't talk to the rest of them. Well, and I talk to my dad's like side of the family, like my grandparents, that kind of thing. I talk to them. They're normal. They're fine. I don't talk to my parents. That's a whole fucking can of worms. We don't need to go into that specs, but I just don't talk to them. It's a whole shit show there. My fiance's is a fucking mess too, but at least it's not crazy mess. That's fair. Yeah. Mine's on the crazy spectrum. His is on the just being selfish and inconsiderate spectrum. And so there's leeway with that. We can work with that. At least they're not crazy, but it's very annoying. So, yeah. When we could go into story after story of them making shit fucking annoying. And it's like, again, I love them. It's my fiance's family. But fucking get your shit together. Just get your shit together. Because you're gonna fucking drive me crazy. We went on... because all of his mom's from Italy. She wasn't born in the US. She was born and raised Italy. She met his father because his father basically went to college in Italy, so that's how they met. And then she immigrated. So all of her family's in Italy. My fiance used to go to Italy to go see his family. So last year, it was finally like, oh, we should go see, because it's not that it wasn't that we didn't want to see them earlier. It was the whole getting the financial, like, getting the financials to be able to go to Italy and then being able to have time off and all of that. We just didn't have that before last year, which is why people are like, oh, why have you been together so many years and you didn't get engaged? Well, because other things had to fucking happen. And it was just like, there was COVID, there was all this other shit. To us, it makes sense how long we've been together and why we got engaged when we did. We didn't get engaged earlier because of COVID, because we were trying to deal with jobs after college, all these things. So last year we finally were like, okay, now we have the situation where we can go take like over 2 weeks or so, go to Italy, see his family, spend time with his family, I get to meet them. And so we did that. Originally it was supposed to be, my fiance and I wanted to do that because, again, we had been together over 5 years at that point, this year was 6 years, so it would have been over 5 years at that point. So we were like, oh, we've been together for so long, I need to see your family at some point. So it was going to be me, him, and then probably his mom, because his mom goes every year to go see her mom, etc. And then because it had been, because of COVID and everything, I think it was like maybe 3 years since he had seen his family. His mom's like, oh, well, we should bring your brother, because who knows when it's going to be the next time he goes. Because that's the whole, again, it's money, it's things like that. She, again, when they were kids, she would pay for them, but now it's the point of like, okay, you both are adults, pay for your shit, please, or pay for that. Like, she can't fucking pay for everything at this point. So she's like, I'll help him so that then he can go. And it's like, oh, great. And then he's also dating somebody. Me and my fiance had been together 5 years at this point. I hadn't met any of his family. He had went to Italy. I think it was the second year we dated. He went to Italy, but I didn't go because A, my family's crazy, and B, because it was still like, oh, it's early in the relationship. It's only 2 years. It's the whole like meeting that side of the family is more of the serious type of thing because again, that's the like they're in a whole different country. His brother, and again, it's not that I don't like his girlfriend, but they had been dating less than a year, and they're like, oh well, let's bring her as well, and it's like, ah, okay. Let's dampen the whole we're meeting Vanessa the first time and they've been together 5 years thing. It's fine. So you're now having to add his mom, his brother, and his brother's girlfriend into the mix. So now it's not like we can plan the trip for the two of us. Now it's, yeah, that feels super weird. Yeah, yeah. And it's not that I don't like her, but it's also like, you've been dating her less than a fucking year. You don't think that's gonna, like, fuck up the standards of, like, expectations of, you took me to Italy and we haven't even been dating a year. What's next year's plan? Like, that's my thing. Like, how do you plan to keep up with that? It doesn't work that like you're setting yourself up for failure of taking the girlfriend with you to Italy and you haven't dated a fucking year, man. I don't know. She's nice. They're still together. It'll be 2 years this year, but still, it's like, come on, man. So he brought her, but now instead of like trying to make a plan around 2 people, you're now trying to make plans around 5 people. Yeah, now her expectations will never be met. Oh my god. When we were in Italy, I was getting annoyed at his brother because you know how women like hint at like, hey, like I see this cute thing. It would be really nice if I had that thing. She was doing that very often. It's not like I think it was one of those she wanted a souvenir. She wanted him to buy her something because it's the whole you're the boyfriend, buy her a thing, and he was just not fucking doing it. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? She's like, it wasn't even like she was looking at anything fucking expensive. She was looking at things that were like fucking €5. Like she just wants a fucking sentimental souvenir of the trip and being with you. What the fuck are you doing? So many times it happened. I think every fucking location we were in. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? You're supposed to treat the woman. Like, you don't have to do it everywhere, but at least once. Literally, he fucking always did fucking do it, and they had leftover euros by the end. I'm like, what the fuck? I used to tell my ex, yeah, super cool. We should get everybody for so much stuff. Oh my god. Like, I don't know, man. Because, like, with my fiance and I, we buy each other stuff. Like when he went to Italy, when I didn't go with him, he bought me cute little souvenirs. When I went with a trip with my family, I brought him stuff back because it's the whole like sentimentality thing, and it was just fucking just going over his head, going over his head. The only thing he did do is when we went to the beach, man, that bitch collected a lot of fucking seashells. She had a fucking gallon bag of fucking seashells. I'm like, what the fuck's she gonna do with all that? It's like, I guess because it's fucking free. Like, come on, man. The other thing is, again, we're in the US. You have to spend money to convert your money to euros, and usually it's more than what the fucking, like, say it's €5, you're gonna spend like $6, etc. It's gonna be more than what it is. They had spare euros. Like, and I think they had like at least $200 worth. That bitch collected a bunch of seashells. All he did was get fucked. I don't think he ever bought her anything. Maybe he did. Maybe he bought her something small at some point and we missed it. Because towards the end of it, we were so fucking fed up with his family. We were just done. We were just like... Because... I'm talking too much. Ugh. I'm gonna get a drink. My throat's getting too dry from talking. Give me a moment, Specs. And I'll also finish. But basically, towards the end of it, they just kept pushing our buttons to the point of we're just like, we just want to fucking be by ourselves. We were so fucking annoyed by the end of it with all of them. Well, not his actual family that's in Italy, just his mom, his brother, and his brother's girlfriend. Not even so much her, just his brother. Like, we were so fucking done with it by the end. Like, it was... Here, one sec. Okay. Yay, drink. So, pretty much the reason why the Italy trip got so complicated is, again, we were planning for 5 people. We were also flying from 2 different areas, because they were still in Tampa, we're in a different part of Florida. I don't know why I laugh way too hard at that. I don't know what part you laugh way too hard at, the us being exhausted with them or the me coughing because I was losing my fucking mouth. Ugh. But we were so fucking done by the end of it because the problem was, again, we were planning for 5 people, not 2 anymore. We were flying out of different areas, so even though we're flying out of 2 different areas in Florida, but connecting, no, her collecting seashells. No, it was him getting seashells for her. And yeah, basically, I guess she is collecting seashells. It was like a fucking gallon bag of seashells. And me and my fiance look at each other like, what the fuck's she gonna do with that? No, that was the thing. He didn't buy her shit as far as we saw. He never bought her a goddamn thing, but he fucking got her seashells because I guess that's free. So get her a shit ton of seashells instead. She, on the other hand, actually bought, that's the thing. She knew, I'm going to Italy. I should buy things. So she would buy things for, she got gifts for her friends, she got gifts for her family. I think she bought some stuff for herself, but it's also the whole, hey, nudge, nudge, we're dating. Nudge, nudge, you should get me something for fucking sentimentality. And that, again, just went over his fucking head in terms of buying an item. Instead, he got seashells. So maybe the gesture didn't necessarily go over his head, but it's the whole, he didn't want to fucking spend money. Even though they ended up with leftover euros by the fucking end of it. It's like, okay. Why? Because her being my fucking... yeah, basically. And she's definitely not the type to be rude about it. She was very polite with, the whole, oh, it'd be really cute, but it was just, she was never a cunt in terms of, that type of thing. She's not cunty, she's very nice. She never did it in that type of way, but you could definitely tell, she's fucking making the hint of buy her something. What the fuck are you doing? Anybody could see that. There was one store, we literally went there because she's like, oh, this store looks interesting. My fiance and I, we got a book of tarot, we got a book that's a book of tarot cards. We got 2 of them actually because they were a set. We bought that. We got that at the store, and he got gifts for a couple of his coworkers. We went in there because she thought it was interesting. She thought about buying something. Did either of them buy anything? No. Instead, we bought shit. And it's what the fuck? We went in here for you, and you didn't fucking buy anything. But yeah, it was we got very annoyed by the end of it because it was shit like that. It was the whole having to... I don't mind being flexible. I don't mind compromising for people. But it's the whole be willing to do the same. If I need you to compromise for me, you should be able to fucking compromise for me. And they just don't fucking do it. So, when we had to plan the thing, my fiance and I got into so many fucking arguments. And it wasn't even because we were mad at each other. We were just so mad at them, our anger would carry over to each other. And it was fucking bad. And we both had to have, a heart-to-heart of, we need to stop doing shit with them because it makes it worse for us. Because it's not that we're fucking mad at each other. We're just so angry at the fucking bullshit we're getting mad at each other. Because it was the whole, planning it. Because it was planning all 5 of us to go there. We're flying from 2 different areas of Florida. Even though they connect in the same fucking airport in Atlanta, they're different prices for the same fucking like Atlanta to that other city. Like, say they were going from Tampa to Atlanta to Venice, it was cheaper for them to do that than it was for us. Or for us to go from where we are to Atlanta to Rome was cheaper than them. So it was this whole, well, fuck, who's gonna spend more money? And it was this whole back and forth bullshit. My fiance and I were like, we will do this. This will be our alternate compromise because we don't. It was the bullshit of it was going to be over $2,000 more for us to do that, to go the route that was cheaper for them. And we were trying to be nice of like, well, his mom's technically helping his brother and the girlfriend pay for the tickets and go there. We'll compromise and spend a little bit more money by doing a multi-city ticket. We'll because his mom made the whole thing of, oh, I want us to all land in the same place so my brother can pick us up and it's not so complicated. And it's like, that's fine. I get that. That's no problem. But it's also really expensive for us to do a full round trip instead of one way that way. So I told my fiance, why don't we just do multi-city? They can do round trip from Venice, and we can just do is take something else and go to Rome, and you and I can spend some time in Rome by ourselves and chill. But his mom's like, oh, well, no, that's not fair to your brother. If you guys are going to Rome, he should go to Rome. That doesn't work. And it was every fucking thing was a problem. And the only reason we had even come up with the multi-city thing was because we were just trying to save $2,000. Over $2,000. Like, that's a lot of fucking money. And the other thing is, like, I would have loved to have bought the tickets like 2 months before we even had that discussion. The only reason we didn't was because his mom kept being like, oh, it's too early to decide. It's too early. It's too early. It's like, okay, we are 6 months before we plan to go. Because the reason we were going that specific month was to go for his grandmother's birthday because she was going to be in her 90s. 2K, oh, yeah, exactly, $2,000 more to fly into Venice versus flying into Rome. It was fucking ridiculous. Because we were looking at round trips originally. Round trip Rome was over $2,000 cheaper compared to round trip Venice for us. And for them it was the same way, but it was opposite. It was $2,000 cheaper for them to do round trip Venice than it was to do round trip Rome. No, that it wasn't even 2,000, but it was like 1,000 or 1,500. So for them technically it would have been cheaper to do the opposite, but whatever. We were trying to be nice because his mom was buying shit. Fine. So we suggested multi-city. We fly into Venice with them so we can have her brother pick us all up and it's all no complications, everybody's together, and then we just leave separately. But that was the problem of, oh, but now his brother's not getting to experience Rome. That's not fair. Oh. And so we're like, okay, well, why doesn't he come to Rome? And then your brother pick him up. Oh, well, that's too much for my brother. That's asking too much of him. Okay. There are trains in Italy. He can take a fucking train. Oh, but that's dangerous. It's like, what do you fucking mean? You used to live in New York. You really think the fucking trains in Italy are gonna be more dangerous than the ones in New York? And then her thing was, oh, but they have to carry their stuff. They do fucking rigging. They go climb for fucking jobs. He has to carry like a 20-pound backpack and do the fucking lighting at concerts. He can't carry his fucking suitcase. What do you mean? Oh, I got so upset. He got so upset. He was so, because the other thing was, he would have these conversations with her, and then I would be kind of like in the background, or he would sometimes tell me later on, and I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean? It was that I couldn't be part of it because I was the fucking fiance, not his wife, and it's the whole, I'm getting upset. It's fucking absurd, Specs. It's ridiculous. We're trying to fucking compromise to save money, and it's like, oh, but that plan doesn't work. This doesn't work. We got into so many fucking arguments because of this shit with his mom. Because it's like, I love his mom, but like, come on, man. So, finally, what we ended up doing to make her happy, even though she still wanted to fucking have issues with it, was we all did the multi-city ticket. So we all flew into Venice, and we all left out of Rome. And we all just had to pay a little bit extra, like, we had to pay a little more money than the round trips we would have done. So, like, if my fiance and I would have done round trip Rome, it would have been the cheapest option compared to multi-city and then round trip Venice being the most expensive. We all went with the middle route of it's not the cheapest thing, but it's not the most expensive thing for anybody by doing multi-city. So that was what we did, and it took like 2 weeks for us to decide this shit. Because every fucking time it was, oh, we need to have everybody on a conference call. We need to discuss it. It would be my fiance talking. Sometimes I would talk, but again, I didn't want to get in the middle of it because my fiance is the type of, you're technically still not married to me. I'll keep my family issues with me so we don't step on anybody's toes, which I get that, fine. So it would be him talking, his mom talking, his brother barely fucking says shit. So it's like, why are we doing a conference call and making this a fucking, like, we have to get everybody on the call when half the people on this fucking call aren't saying shit? Like, what the fuck? So we literally had to do 2 conference calls. We wasted like 2 weeks. The tickets jumped in fucking price. I was so upset. I wanted to buy those tickets like 2 months prior. We spent $5,000 on tickets to go to Italy for my fiance and I. 2 tickets, $5,000. If we would have bought it 2 months earlier, we would have saved over $2,000. It is ridiculous how expensive fucking flights are the later you wait for it. If anybody here tries to do a trip abroad, buy your tickets at least 6 months in advance. You will save so much more money. So, like, I know that. I knew that from past experiences from traveling. Someone would be losing teeth. I was so fucking annoyed. And the other problem was, oh, Specs, you don't even understand. It was so fucking stressful. Because the other thing is, again, when my fiance and I originally made this plan, we thought it was just the 2 of us. So we thought, oh, we'll stay with his family because it's just the 2 of us. There's space for 2 people. Now there's 5 of us. There is not enough space in anybody's house in there to host all 5 of us. And we knew his mom's helping his brother and the girlfriend, and his mom always stays with her mom. So we're like, well, that means him and I are going to have to get hotels everywhere. So now we're having to plan for that expense. Luckily, again, this is 6 months in advance. We have time. We were in better spots in our life to where we already knew if we were going to go to like the beach city they always visit, we knew we were going to get a hotel there because they always do a camper there, and that ain't a me thing. I'm not a camping person. I don't do that shit. I like, I know his one friend gives me shit. He's like, oh, you'll do glamping though. It's like, yeah, the closest I'll do to fucking camping in the woods is get a fucking cabin. I want a toilet. I want a fucking shower. I do not want to be out in the wilderness at night. I will get a sleeping bag and look under the stars, but when it's time to go to bed, I want to have a fucking roof over my head. That's where I'm at. I don't want to fucking do that. And the camper's not terrible in Italy, but it's not my thing because it's like you have to use a public restroom. But I do love camping. Look, man, I like the outdoors. I will go hike. I will go have outdoor activities. I just don't want to sleep outside, and I would like a bathroom. That is my thing. I would like a shower. I would like a toilet. I do not want to shit in a bush. I do not want to shit in a hole and then have to dig the hole. Like, that's my thing. Max and I used to fall asleep on her parents' land just lying on a blanket. See, but like, that's fine. Like, I'll take a nap outside, but eventually I would like to go indoors. My major thing, maybe it's not the sleeping portion, it's the I don't want to take a shit in the woods specs. I feel like that's a fair thing to want to have a bathroom, that I now live in modern society where that's a thing. Like, we're not in Roman times, we're not in certain points of life where we have to shit in a fucking hole. I would just like a bathroom in peace. And so I did not want to stay in the camper in the beach town because it was a public restroom. Yes, it's still a bathroom, fair, but it's also a public restroom. I want my fucking privacy. I feel like that's fair. Because then you gotta do like the fucking college dorm thing of having like shower sandals, and that ain't doing. Like, I didn't live the dorm life. I lived at home. Like, nah, that ain't me. So we knew even when it was planning for just the 2 of us, we knew we would have at least that hotel. But now, okay, we have to add the hotels for any other city we're staying in. So that means Venice, that means Rome, and that means the beach town, and that means where they live. Hello. You doing okay? Okay. I'm just here chit-chat with Specs. I was telling him about the Italy trip and getting frustrated because I forget how we went down this route. I think it was just me complaining. And he was getting upset. Yeah, but I telling him about the ticket thing. He's like, I'm getting mad. Oh god, what did you have to do? Yeah, because why are you here so late? What the fuck happened? Did Ruth's shit come back? Was it because of Ruth's shit or brand new shit? Fine. Jesus. Mm-hmm. Oh, Jesus. He says, hello, Mr. Husbando. Jesus. You're not a fucking receptionist. No, you're a different fucking team. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She seems like the type. Yeah, 'cause like, remember when I was waiting to pick you up? She fucking walked out. It's just like, yeah, she just has one of those like bitch faces. uh, oof. Uh-huh. Other guy did. Mhm. Jesus. Oof. Yes, I know. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, because you were fixing it because you moved. And then you didn't ask anybody else? Like, why didn't you ask anybody else on the fucking team? Ugh. Mhm. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Jesus Christ. I mean, Jesus Christ. No, I mean she fucked up the first time originally. She didn't give any good info. Mhm. Uh. 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 I'm doing good. I was playing Overcooked. It was chill, and then Specs has joined, and I've been chit-chatting with Specs. I mean, I was just so I think it was we were talking about like the apartment things like that, and I was talking about how I don't mind us moving because your family's made planning things complicated, and so that's when I got into the Italy trip about your mom with the whole like just trying to do the fucking tickets. Like, oh no, we haven't even got like we've just gone through the tickets portion of things. And how I was like, we literally would get into so many fights with each other, and we had to be like, we can't keep doing things with them because we're not even mad at each other. We're just so fucking upset about everything else. Alright, I have to go. I'm having dinner with my grandma. I can't hear. Yes, I did say that. I have to go. I'm having dinner with my grandma. Will you have a good night, Specs? If anything, next time you join, we could go back into the Italy trip and the fucking complicated bullshit because we haven't even grazed the surface of half of the shit that we had to fucking do. But regardless, have a good night with your grandma. It's good to have you in stream. And yeah, definitely feel free and watch the YouTube stuff and catch up on anything. But hope to see you again soon. Have a good night. Enjoy your dinner. That is still off. Yes, we need to finish this convo. Have a nice night, you too. Yes. It'll be a long conversation, but we can finish the conversation next time you join the stream.